You want to start carrying your own games, but you have no idea on where to start. This is the video for you. In this video, I will show you how to apply concepts to improve your ADC gameplay in a Grandmaster Challenger Elo lobby. So, the game starts and I am playing Vayne Crit on Grandmaster Challenger Elo with my support Alistar. So the first thing that I do as the game starts is to place this ward here instead of this one where the enemy placed it, because I have Alistar. Knowing that I have Alistar, I know that I can never contest this bash, so the only one that I want to have vision of is this one when the enemy pushes, so that I can see the enemy Lulu when they go here. Okay, let's actually see what happens here. Let's like show this concept. As you can see, they actually stay in that bash. As I have Alistar, I can never actually play there. And you see, they will actually play around the bash of here. But my objective here is pretty simple. This ward is made so that if the Lulu goes here and she autos Alistar, for example, or even me, this wave will stop attacking my wave. And we will basically auto-push towards us because the wave is not going to hit their wave. And that's the whole concept of playing Alistar here and like playing in general with an Alistar. You will see this happening now. So they actually try to go on this bash. And I do something quite interesting here, as I said. I'm gonna go for the XP, but in reality, I also want them to hit. As you can see, as they hit the Alistar, the minions are actually moving towards here, actually dropping the aggro on the wave, which will automatically make it so that my wave is actually going to push towards me a bit faster. As you can see, it's taking the long trade. This is actually helping us out to have a better early game at the start. And this is like an important concept when you have a really weak level 1 support, especially in Niger Elo, but I will say that you can easily apply it also on the lower stages or like Silver Elo, stuff like that. As I said here, we're just gonna use this trick here. Of course, they could easily lance it out, so if the enemy ADC support are a bit intelligent, they could easily lance this ward out if they actually go for it and they are thinking about the game. And if they do, it's still a bit hard, but you can easily still make the free wave crash under your tower. You're never gonna have prio, but it's just the concept that's important in this case. So the wave is just like going towards me. I'm just like getting a few minions here and there, but that's not important. There's gonna be the free wave crash. Now you're gonna see it. Most of the games in Agilo, as you can see, are always made about around the free wave crash. They're gonna free wave crash, and from there the game just kind of like starts, and everything else, you know, just like starts. So from here we have the free wave crash, and both junglers are playing for bot side. I do want to notice that, of course, we are weaker from a free versus free perspective, so I will never play the free versus free. It's just like important to know that. And so Qiyana kind of has to like, you know, not play this fight here in case Graves wants to look for this. I heavily believe that if the Graves actually play this fight, we will have lost. I just wanted to notice that. If actually Graves, instead of going for Scuttle, goes for that, it's quite hard loss by us. So he decides to go for Scuttle, which is a bit more of a consistent play. But here we decide to look out for the play, which is actually fine. We did it without vision, so it was quite risky. I'm not gonna lie with you. But the good thing is that Lulu flashes, and when I see that Lulu has no flash, I can actually just like chase and still focus the Lulu. So I Q flash here, and she actually dies. So what I did here is pretty simple. I see that the enemy has no flash, and I just like commit on the guy that has no flash. That's a really important thing to like do as an ADC. As you will see here, as the Lulu flashes, I actually just like keep focusing the guy that has no flash. I'm not just gonna like swap the focus to the Yunara. It will make no sense, right? So what I'm gonna do is just like flash here, the Lulu targets, and just like kill her off. So that's the first kill of the game. We actually played quite bad. Again, as I said, this play is not realistically like that doable, but we managed to like just like sneak it out, and Graves will take 2 scuttles instead of like 1 because Qiyana did this gank. In the end, it turned out to be good. So I won't complain about that. As I have this wave, I just decided to actually hold it here, even if my HP are actually just like really low. So I know that sooner or later I will actually lose a wave. In the current situation, I didn't have any crazy spike item. When I play Vayne, I like to have BF sword right away, so 1k 300 gold. I'm just like sitting here and trying to get my 1k 300 gold. I'm not really scared of them actually diving me. There's not really a chance of like them diving me at all. I know that the Graves was topside because of vision, so I know that I'm quite fine even if I'm quite low HP. And here we see the Lulu actually getting Vayne Alistair comboed. So we do get another kill, a few trading here and there, which wasn't even needed, honestly. For me, it's just like a pushed wave where I just try to crush, as I said. Qiyana actually shadows, so actually I never wanted to look out for a fight here, but the fact that Qiyana shadows helps me out a lot to make sure that I'm not gonna die to actually crush this wave. And the important thing to me is to actually get minions. I didn't want to fight, so I E out the Yunara, as you can see, and just like tell my Qiyana to not play these outs. And as we expected, Graves was bot lane, so we did manage to crush the wave, and on top of that I managed to reset, which is pretty good. I base with 2 kills and a BF, so this is like awesome for my Vayne crit build, which is really squishy and kind of relies a lot on having the BF sword spike at the start, because you can do auto Q out and deal a lot of damage. So what did we learn as of now is that, you see, we respect the level 1, we just let them push in, try to punish if we can punish, take off the flashes, and then play around who has no flash. The important thing that I will say that many people miss out on is to actually focus on who uses the summoners, okay? So if Lulu has no summoners but Yunara has, I will always focus the guy that has no summoners. That's the most important thing that you can actually get out of this. And the same thing applies here, right? So every single time you will see like a challenger replay or whatever you want, you're gonna see the same concept applied over and over. Here, we could have easily just like looked out for the Yunara, but we know that Lulu has no summoners, you can see it here. So again, my support looks out for the Lulu, and the Lulu just like dies again. It's a really easy concept. We are heavily punishing the Lulu mistakes, and that's pretty good, right? We are 3 kills on, and I mean, that's awesome. We also have this wave, which is crazy. I'm just gonna like endlessly last it here so that the wave keeps standing here, keeps standing here, keeps standing here, and just like heavily taking off melees every single time they come, and just keeping casters so that the wave is not going under tower. Sooner or later, the enemy will come and the wave will crash. But the important thing is that in the meanwhile, my Alistar is just like roaming them up, and I'm actually just like standing here and you know, just like helping my Alistar to make pressure while the Yunara can never stay solo, because I have 6 advantage, and she's actually like just forced to help him out. So here we have some kind of like roaming advantage, and here I can just like slow push this way, wait for my Alistar to come back. And here both junglers are like actively looking for something, so I do want to see what happens here. I don't really remember that. I actually wanted to go for the Graves, but the Graves flashes out. There's a teleport here, a few things here and there. I do believe that I did a mistake here, as I said. Like I kind of like wasn't sure if Lulu had flash or not, and I think Lulu had flash. So going for the Graves was bad here. I'm gonna be honest with you. Going for Graves was bad. I definitely should have gone for the Lulu or stuff like that, because I'm not playing around the Alistar. And that's just bad, right? I expected the Qiyana to actually just like look for that though. She had flash ults, but Graves had flash as well. So this is kind of like an unrealistic play. So I looked out for that, but the guy flashes out. And I definitely would have been so much better in this position where we could have killed the Lulu quite easily. So seeing it back then, I believe that I made a mistake, like just going for the Graves. But at least we take the flash off, and we have also the teleport of the top laner, which was quite huge. So this is like even more helpful, honestly. It's just like really positive. I'm gonna just base here, I believe. No, I wanted to look out for a cheese, but the cheese was quite hard because just because, yes, we have Alistar, and I shouldn't have done that, but I just like wanted to see if there was an angle. When I play Vayne, I'm kind of greedy sometimes. I decide to like not base when I should base. It's because I know that it's the type of champion that can look out for crazy plays. No matter the elo, you just like always want to look out for these crazy plays, even if you're doing fine. So because of that, I believe that I die. So I even got punished because of that. That's quite funny. But I still don't regret actually doing that, because that's just like how you play Vayne. You're gonna die sometimes and just like trying out these plays. But I wouldn't say that's bad. It's just like it just happens, right? So completely fine by me. We die once and we just keep it going. I would say that in general, in challenger lobbies, you get punished a lot for like overextensions. As you can see, like I just stood in the bush, looked out for a play, the play didn't happen, and I get punished because of that. So every time you try to like be proactive on a high Gilo gameplay, you tend to like be always on the negative side. Being less proactive tends to be more rewarded in a Gilo, and that's quite interesting, because I will say that Deal Grandmasters or like Masters, playing heavily aggressive actually gets rewarded way more. And like playing Challenger lobbies instead, you get punished for actually actively playing consistently, like making and looking out for plays. So it's just like a quite interesting move, no? Like to see this happening here. So I wouldn't actually copy that. I would say stick to what I did. So like when you have a play where you can actually realistically look for something, you should actually look out for it. Also because enemy top laners, they won't look for TPs. It's just like a different environment. So challenger games aren't silver elo games, right? So what I want you to understand is do what feels right for your game and do what makes you feel strong in the game. If you feel like you're strong and you're just basing because you feel like you're doing it wrong, I wouldn't say that it's always right. You can always just like be strong and I don't know if you understand this concept, but it's pretty simple in my opinion. Just like when you feel strong, you should just like keep playing, and if you make a mistake, you can actually work towards it. But if you never actually try, you will never know. So I'm the type of person who actually just like tries even in challenger games. Like it doesn't matter. I'm pretty happy about that. So we take the bot lane tower, I base, and I go mid lane. I have Yantl finally. So this build is not the same as Essence Seaver. Like so many people might ask me, why do you play crit Vayne like this instead of like the Essence Seaver one? I do believe that the Essence Seaver has a lot of burst potential, but I like Yantl Infinity Edge a bit more because it has more kill potential from a multiple kill perspective rather than lethality. Lethality tends to be you kill one guy and then that's pretty much it. Like you have really low attack speed, so killing 2 people in a row happens only if you're 10-0, pretty much. So if you start behind as lethality Vayne, you are useless. If you start ahead with this build, you're quite strong DPS wise, and if you start behind, you're somewhat still fine anyways in terms of DPS again. I will always look out at the DPS rather than the burst, because if you go DPS, at least you're always gonna deal DPS, but if you go lethality, you're not always gonna burst, right? It heavily depends on how ahead you are. So that's the best differentiation that I can make. When I play Vayne, I like to play as an assassin, but I don't like to play the itemization of an assassin. This is like something that I wanted to mention, because I play Vayne since like season 4, season 5, and I see a lot of people that like play the lethality build. I tried it out and I personally feel that this build is better for me, so I just decided to play it out in this way. In this case, I go bot side because I feel like that's we're actually quite winning quite heavily. So I kind of like want to split the damage and just like make sure that we can take more in the map instead of just like grouping and looking out for plays. So I'm just like taking this wave here and taking some plates here. As I see this bunny here, I'm just like gonna back off and then just go straight back to mid lane. So just like this type of rotation, because everyone was mid lane and I would have lost a lot of wave. I honestly don't care about wave as much when I play Vayne, but in general, I just want to play the right macro, and as no one was there, I just thought, okay, I'm just gonna go there, right? Anyways, from here, we just like take waves endlessly, okay? So we endlessly look out for waves. The fight was actually unplayable, so there's no way that I can actually fight it. I'm just gonna push mid lane, and again, mid lane. You will often see that mid-game as ADC is pretty much the same everywhere you go. It's just about the type of mistake that you make. ADC role is not that hard, really. You start ahead and you just want to go mid lane. You start behind and you still want to go mid lane, but a bit later after you finish the quest. So as you go mid lane, you just like want to farm waves and then look out for opportunities. Opportunities meaning support engages, jungle fights, and you simply just like want to move your camera towards the important fights, okay? What I will say that a lot of people make as a mistake when they go mid lane as ADC, especially low elo players, they look to get the wave and they are like, okay, I'm fine, I'm taking my wave and I'm doing everything, but then they kind of like miss the window where there's the fights because they don't watch actively the map. Even today, I coached a guy and this guy basically just like was farming mid lane with locked camera, he was watching here and he wasn't able to like spot a fight that was literally like here. Like, it's not even that unreachable. So what I will say that's the most important thing when you play DC and you go mid lane is to literally watch the map and scout every single information to understand which fight you want to take and which you don't want to take. I will say that only this could increase your elo by so much, because you can actually put yourself in a decision, okay? You see a fight and you decide whether or not to enter that. Instead, if you don't even know that there's a fight, you're actually just not giving even the chance to yourself to actually improve. Because you don't see the fight and you're just thinking, oh, my team lost that fight. It's actually unplayable now and I couldn't do anything. But the truth is that if you saw the fight earlier, you could have fought it, okay? So that's the most important thing when it comes to mid lane. Here I see a clear engage. This is really easy to see. Alistar just engages straight up mid lane and my Aatrox follows up so we can actually kill him off. Yeah, that damage is crazy, actually. As I'm telling you, Vayne with this build is actually not that bad. You see, I don't even know where that damage came from. I think it's RQ plus Q2 of Aatrox. Look at that. I think it was only my auto, but that was really funny. Anyways, we keep on going, and I'll just like take mid lane again endlessly till we look out for objectives. Like that's ADC, guys. Like we're playing challenger lobbies, and many people just like make it so hard, but it's about like being consistent and like actively looking for informations and scouting enemy jungle, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna base, get Infinity Edge, I believe, or really near to that. Yeah, I have Infinity Edge. I am at a really good timer with really good items. Yantl Infinity Edge 16 is quite good, and my team actually did really well as of now. We're actually 5k gold ahead, which is pretty good at these minutes. So my team was actually way better than the enemy. And of course, with this type of lead, I want to look out for fast objectives. I want to look for Herald. I don't want to give anything to the enemy team. Also invades, okay? So I'm just going to like take mid lane and then look out for opportunities again. I just want you to notice, I'm never going to rotate to this part of the map here, for example, because this is like the weak side part of the map. This is the strong side, okay? This Aatrox is playing for the top 22 and is actively playing like we have a lot of vision here, if you can see. Not crazy vision, but it's fairly more populated, and on top of that we have the jungler here. The jungler being here, it's kind of important, because I tend to explain, and I believe that it's like that where the jungler is playing is the strong side. So strong side, okay? When Kian is top side, we are strong siding top side, we are strong siding this position in general of the map, okay? Something like that. Top lane and mid lane. When the jungler is bot side, we are doing mid lane to bot lane. And that's how I see it. So if our jungler is top side, we are playing for top lane, mid lane. And if he's bot lane, we're playing for bot lane. As my jungler is not bot lane... Thank you for the follow. Actually, fuck, man. Actually, follow me while I do the video. Anyways, as my jungler is top side, okay, I will never do this type of rotation where I go bot lane and just look out for this play. First of all, because there's surely gonna be vision, right? When I go to here, there's gonna be a lot of vision, and you see there's a lot of vision. So this is kind of like an obvious play. I'm never gonna play for the weak side. I'm always gonna play for the strong side if I really wanna play. So an hypothetical play that I could do after pushing mid lane is to look out for this top lane tower. But since my Aatrox is basing, I can't really do that. Also, since my Aatrox is basing, I have to be really careful here. This play is really deep in the map because there's no one. But I kind of like know that. So I decided to like fall back and just like, you know. The point is I don't have many items. So that's also important to know. But at the same time, that's completely fine. Right? As long as you don't die and as long as even if you're off tempo, the important thing is that you don't die. You see my team actually just like coming back. Aatrox is coming back. LeBlanc is coming back. I just have to make sure that I don't die. If you don't have spike items, it's not your fault. If you have an item to buy in base, of course I will have based at the same timer as Aatrox, just to make sure that I wouldn't make a mistake. But in this case, I just like need a lot of gold right now. I have 900 gold, and the only spike item I had was probably Zeal, which is not even that bad. But I can make a lot of pressure here, and just like dropping it for no reason will make no sense. So we do a lot of mid lane tower damage, and in the meanwhile, there's not even that much of like a drawback by the enemy team, I will say. And so a bit of a fast forward towards the moment where we take mid tower. I want to say, and I want to mention that 95% of the league players and in general everyone should learn how to actually force a tower. When a tower is this low and you're actively just like trying to take it every time you push a wave and you're solo and you're not able to take it, you're just wasting time. We are playing a challenger game here, and I want to show you how we are just like forcing this tiny HP tower. Look at that. So I walk here and easily tumble into the tower. There's no hard engage, nothing crazy, so I can easily tumble. Look out for this tower. But what I want you to show you is, again, Alistar closing this position. Kiana shadowing me. So we are going as 3, right? We could even go as 4 with Aatrox. That would be crazy, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you just go as 4 free in mid lane and take this tower and then go away. That's the whole concept. If I go here as Vayne solo, it's really easy. It's really hard to do that, right? So when you go solo as ADC here to take this mid lane tower, it's really easy to die. But if you do it in this way, with 3 players, the enemy just like has to concede. The tower is too low and the risk is too high. So that's how you force a mid tower, and that's how you should, in general, just like force objectives in League of Legends. You see a low HP tower, you wanna force it, go as 3, and make sure that you can like actually take it. Don't go solo to like take the last tick of the tower, you're just gonna die or you're gonna get punished. And here we actually forces free. You see, making pressure. The Alistar is making pressure. See, even the Aatrox, actually, I even saw him. The Aatrox was here on the back. So they have to fall back. And you see, as we do it, we just disengage again. We took the tower. The fight is literally done, so we don't have to force. And in the meanwhile, we have also silent advantage, which is even better. I swear, like, many people just like don't know how to do it. It's crazy, I know, but those are like the tiny things that actually make the game better. And that's just like how it is. So I hope this is helping you guys. And make sure to leave a follow or like in general subscribe. At 1k subs, I will give free coaching to YouTube people, you know, like I will just like put it on the community tab. So make sure to actually be there, make sure to follow, and also leave a like if you're enjoying. Thank you so much. So at this point in the game, we have Phantom Dancer, Yantel, Infinity Edge. I have 3 items, so I'm heavily looking for teamfights, and that's exactly what we're gonna do, okay? As I have 3 items, we're heavily looking for a teamfight, and look at what happens literally 3 seconds afterwards. I wanna show you how Vayne plays here, because Vayne is a bit of a different character compared to like other ones. Most of the time, you don't wanna play front forward. Like, I don't want to play front forward like that, because I always see Vayne as an assassin. Even if you're playing Blade of the Runed King Ginso, you don't want to hit this character. You want to hit the flank on the back, and you want to actually like find the moment where the enemy is isolated, okay? Just like a Kha'Zix, let's say. Like, it's the same thing. So here, as you can see, I see that the concentration of the fight is all here. So what I know is that all the players want to come to this position. And normally DC will do that, right? Like, my brain thinks everyone has to come to this position because they want to fight. So what I'm going to do is to catch off someone that's coming to this position. That's what I'm doing, okay? So I don't care about this fight. I care about the people that still have to come on this fight. And that's what I'm going to do. So I go to the upside, play with the Fog of War, importantly as well. Okay, there's no vision, so Yunara has no idea where I am, but I have, because there's the wave. And just like look out to pick her off, because she's actually not on the same line as his team, right? She's like completely taken off. So Vayne just like does it really well. I want to show you from a invisibility perspective what happened here. And here we are, just like Vayne invisible with you. So we managed to pick her off, get the stun off, and she just dies right away. And this fight is already settled, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, the strength of Vayne is you don't want to play fair. You just like want to one-shot the target off, and this fight is already over because it's a 4 versus 5, right? So from here, just like play slow, look out for the fight. Kiana does a really good ultimate, and I'm heavily looking to like just continue to fight and just like doing Vayne things. We're doing Vayne things here, get a triple kill, and from there we can easily just like go Drake. I'm gonna settle the side lanes, get a Gromp, whatever. I don't think it's important to get jungle. I just like took it because yes, I am fed. So I take side lane, we take Drake, we take mid lane, and the all important thing is that I do not die. I luckily do not die, I guess. I was really close, but I don't die, so that's pretty good. And we got a triple kill out of the fights. The fact that we had 3 items was quite important here. I do want to mention that. Of course, having 3 items and you're not having 2 also does make a lot of difference. But I will say that even if you're behind, it's really, really important that you play like this as Vayne. It doesn't matter. You're a 1v1 character, and if you can't 1v1, you're useless anyways. Just keep it in mind. I like Vayne to be played in this way. If you play Vayne front to back, you're just like objectively weaker compared to 95% of the champions in the game. Of course, this video puts Vayne, but guys, you can literally just like tell me which champion you want to like actually learn, and you know, I will just make a video about it. So just let me know down in the comments if you really want a video about someone. So from here, we actually go for 100% crit. What I noticed about this build, which is really, really squishy, like Vayne, technically speaking, is a really squishy character. You can see it yourself. I have like 1k 800 HP and no armor at all. So I like to go 100% crit anyways, because every time I tumble, I'm just gonna actively look and crit 100%. Crit 100% is really, really strong, of course. You just like tumble and one-shot someone because you increase your AD, and then it's just like a multiplier. So having 100% crit is pretty good, but what I know is that I also lack defense. And since I lack defense, I wanna go for Shilbo. Shilbo is such a strong item because you deal damage, but you also deny damage. And since it scales based on your level, buying it to 4 is actually pretty good, because you already have a really good base of a shield. So that's what I did in this game. I actually just like wanted to go for 100% crit and just like actively look for that. Anyways, there's another fight here. I want to show you that. This is the fight where we get Nash. And I want to show you that I'm actively just like aware of what's the problem when I play Vayneer, okay? When I play Vayneer, it's just like bad. We already talked about it, no? The vision is bad. I want to show you that. The vision is just bad. And if I play front to back, I already know that this game is really, really hard. So I'm just like actively waiting to see what's happening instead of like going and playing the fights. Look at that. I see the bunny, and what I'm doing is like taking space, you see? I'm not playing the fight. I'm just like waiting because I know that I'm going to lose. So I want to wait the cooldowns and just like see what happens overall. When I see that the enemy team is like watching somewhere else, for example, you see, as this flank happens, all the enemy team is just like actively watching this position here. This is where I actually start to use my ult Q. And then just come out of an hour. And you see? That's exactly what happened here. I played in the fog of war, we can call it like that. It's not really fog of war, but I'm literally untouchable in a certain way because everyone is just like actively looking for this. You see how everyone is like watching this position? They are challenger players. They are literally challenger players, but it doesn't matter. Because you make it in a way that they have no chance of actually replying to that. And so as you can see, I am uncontested, I one-shot the Graves, and again, the same concept as before. We just managed to win the fight right away because of that. When playing Vayne or when playing every character in general, you should always think actively what is the best way to deal damage without actually being overexposed. That's the whole concept of ADC, and that's why I love the role so much. Playing the role just means being on the most uncontestable position while also dealing damage. Doing it with Vayne is even harder because the champion tends to be a lot of melee, right? So it's really hard. You're just like actively going towards the enemy. So that's also something to say. From here we have Nash. So as we have Nash, we look for this tower. Usually offside towers are what you want to look out for. So we take this one, but we can easily just rotate and take this one. That's what we're gonna do, I believe. So you're gonna see it. We push this mid lane. We already took it without actually going there. So we got till inhibitor actually and just like take mid inhib, and then we just like wanna base. I believe that some people had a lot of gold in the bank. I also had a lot of gold. And now I have Shilbo. So we have, summaring what happened here, we got the Nash after that big fight. We pushed mid lane, took the inhibitor mid lane. And now what we miss is actually to look out for this top side and this bot lane. Our comp is pretty good at doing 4-1. So Aatrox can go top side or LeBlanc. And then we just like go S4 here. And we're gonna see if we do it. I honestly don't remember. But I'm pretty sure that we're gonna stack and just like look to play for a tower. Okay, as we can see, I stack up with the Aatrox bases, which is a bit weird. And the enemy team looks out for this fight here, which is a bit weird. I just decided to actually look out for this, no? I'm really strong, and what I don't see often, but like Vayne players, they can play silent way more than what I expect. If you're a Jinx player here, you're trolling, right? So it heavily depends on the champion that you have. If you play Jinx like this, you're a psychopath. But if you're playing like this Vayne, you have a lot of power, so it's completely different. Like heavily depends on the champion. But here I can take a tower for free, and I'm kind of uncontested again. If someone comes to me, I am really strong, and I know that I can beat him 1v1. So they have to come as 2 or 3, and when they come as 2 or 3, I'm just gonna go back, right? So that's the whole concept of like playing Vayne. So here in this case, I decide to go back after I take the tower. The tower is more than enough, and we're just gonna take the Drake, which is the soul. So soul plus tower. We're kind of opening them up slowly. Not crazy fast, but like slowly at least, which is okay. I think here this thing happens where like there's a huge fight and we're taking a lot of time. You see, I'm not actively just like deciding to look out for the play. I could have looked to like smurf it out, but there's no reason, right? It's like, who cares about that? They're really looking for this fight, and I know that I'm gonna lose here if I actually do that. What I could have done is I could have fought the fight anyways, but my mistake here, because I did a mistake, is to actually not wait the Aatrox to split, okay? The enemy team picks a really good fight here, because Aatrox is not actively pushing this tower here. You kind of like want to force out the fight that I just did when the Aatrox is pushing this tower here. So as you can see, they picked out a really good fight here, because I am off tempo, right? I am just like off tempo compared to the Aatrox. Off tempo simply means that the waves are not on the same line, okay? My wave is pushing, but Aatrox wave is not on the same line, so we can't make pressure on towers. Ideally, and like unrealistically, it's really hard to actually do it in solo queue, but if a wave is here, and there's a top lane wave as well here on this tower, and also bot lane, if they commit as for bot lane just like they did, we're gonna get this inhibitor, and then hypothetically also take the tower's mid lane, which will make the game unplayable anyways. So, generally speaking, the most consistent way of actually playing this out will be to wait your team to actually make pressure anywhere else, so that they can get value even without playing the fight. So here, as I understand that I made a mistake, I don't want to play it. I just go back, right? I am lucky because they have no hard engage. But realistically speaking, with slightly more engage, I would have lost. Luckily, they don't have it, so I said, I don't want to play this, right? I don't want to play this. I just want Aatrox to actually split. And you see, I'm just going to base and let Aatrox split. So we get this tower for free, kind of. Not for free, but we managed to get it. Now I'm going to base, go mid lane. And to this point, I'm really near to Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel is also a really important item. After you have 100% crit, there's no better item than Guardian Angel. It's just like, the weight of the item is so high. It's crazy, honestly. And I tend to always buy it 5th, but if you want, you can also buy it 4th at this point. It's just like that important of an item, depending on which game you're playing. So from here again, I look out for a pick as Vayne, and I saw an angle again. Like you wanna search out for angles when you play Vayne, and I think I saw an angle here. Okay? I'm pretty sure that I saw like some people not being here, so I decided to like ult Q here. Lulu just like walks up, and yeah, she's dead. So 3 autos and no more, and she's gonna die. So again, once you reach this point where you can one-shot people as Vayne, it's always like a 4 versus 5, and so you can just like one-shot everyone. So here I do the 1v1, and what I like to say, specifically when Vayne-wise, is you want to pick off a target and then go for the next one, so that it's never a 5 versus 5, right? That's how you play Vayne. Like, it's not fair. It's actually not fair. If you play Vayne 5 versus 5, you're always gonna like not succeed. If you play pick off Vayne, you pick off an enemy, and then you go for the other one. Vayne is like one of the strongest characters in the game, and I'm not even joking. So that's why this character is just like overall so good. You can play him in Challenger, you can play him wherever you want, and it's just like it's crazy, you know. Now I'm not playing her topside, so at least don't blame me on that. It's really hard to play her ADC. Okay, Jesus, guy. Comment down below if you hate Vayne top lane players. Holy shit, I played against a Challenger Vayne player in topside field as Garen, and I don't want to remember that, really. It's just crazy. So from here, we are 11-1 on a Challenger lobby. 11-1. 1k shutdown, we get Guardian Angel. And now the only thing we have to do is literally to close the game. We have Nash, we have 3 towers open, so we just have to get the inhibitors slowly. We can even play for 1. Again, we're playing for 1, I believe. And yeah, here it's just about closing the game, right? So we're just gonna stack up together. And here it's the only point where like Vayne becomes a bit hard, okay? Because playing Vayne pick, it's almost impossible here. I just want you to notice that. It's really, really hard for me to like not play a front to back here, which makes me way weaker. You can't really do much about it. Like the only thing you could do is not play the fight and just like play on the opposite side and look out for towers and try to end, or bring one player bot lane. That's also something that I could have done. But it's also really risky because at this point in the game, they could easily just like full all in on me. And even if we get the towers, I will just die, right? I have Guardian Angel, which will give a lot of time. But generally speaking, I will say that at this point in the game, you can just like easily look out for the fight. The important thing is that you do not make a huge mistake, right? So from here, another 1 kill, 2 kills. Vayne at this point is just like crazy. And I have Guardian Angel, so we don't die, and the game is just over. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, as I said again. And let me know down in the comments if you have any question, or if you enjoyed this video, I will do some more in case. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.